can't handle the truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President-elect's cabinet and cabinet-level designees.
And now you hear cheers. So lots of cheers every time you see a Trump family member, including the president-elect, including his vice president-elect, J.D. Vance, and his wife as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, former vice presidents, the Honorable Dan Quayle, accompanied by Mrs. Marilyn Quayle, and the Honorable Michael Pence.
Several people here booing Mike Pence as he walks into the Capitol Rotunda. Of course, the former vice president of Donald Trump in his 45th term in office, or excuse me, when he became the 45th president of the United States. He did say he was going to be there in attendance at the inauguration.
It has, and it's been interesting to kind of watch our coverage because they're putting up a live feed of the pictures you guys are seeing and seeing the reaction of all the Trump supporters here. The loudest boos so far have not been for President Biden or Vice President Harris. The loudest boos so far were for former Vice President Mike Pence when he walked in. For everything you guys were just mentioning there, it was somewhat surprising. I mean, you know he's not popular in MAGA world, but to hear the loudest boos for him says a lot about how the Republican Party, at least the Republican Party right now, a lot of them feel about Mike Pence. And it's interesting, when some of the other cabinet members came in, the ones that maybe are perceived as more controversial, like, the Secretary of Defense nominee, Pete Hegseth, they got the loudest cheers. Also, about maybe 30 minutes ago, inside the Capital One Arena, we saw a shot of former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Okay, now the boos are picking up again, as you can imagine. You have former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and obviously former President Bill Clinton as well. The crowd here is getting a little more raucous as it's filling out, about 20,000 inside of the Capital One Arena. It was pretty peaceful and friendly. It now seems to be getting a little more fired up and amped up. The boos are growing loud. I would say the booing now probably louder than it was for Vice President Mike Pence. So it's turning somewhat into I don't know if it's a sporting event here, but you're definitely getting crowd reaction in real time to the inauguration, which I will say is pretty interesting. I was making the point, Rudy Giuliani is here. As you know, he just settled a defamation suit against those two Georgia election workers to the tune of north of $100 million. They did settle for an undisclosed amount. But when he popped up on the screen, everyone started cheering. We're also getting some cheers here. Not super loud cheers, but some cheering here for former President Bush and the former First Lady Laura Bush as well as they enter.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 44th President of the United States, the Honorable Barack H. Obama. Ladies and gentlemen, the President-elect of the United States, the Honorable Donald John Trump.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Elon Musk.
Victory feels like. Yeah! And this was no ordinary victory. This was a fork in the road of human civilization. Okay. You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important, some are not. But this one this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured. Thanks to you. We're going to have safe cities, finally, safe cities. Secure borders, sensible spending, basic stuff. And we're going to take Doge to Mars. I mean, can you imagine how awesome it will be to have American astronauts plant the flag on another planet for the first time? How inspiring would that be? You know, there's always problems in life. You know, there's this problem, solve that problem. But you know, there need to be things that inspire you. There need to be things that make you glad to wake up in the morning and say, I'm looking forward to the future. Yeah. I love you guys. So, and let me tell you, I'm gonna work my ass off for you guys. So, I really will. So, and yeah, but I'm super fired up for the future. It's gonna be very exciting. As the president said, we're gonna have a golden age. It's gonna be fantastic. And one of the fundamental things, one of the most American values that I love is optimism. And this feeling like we're gonna make the future good. We're gonna make it good. So, man, I can't wait. This is gonna be fantastic. So thank you again. And yeah, I'm just so excited about the future. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Dan Scavino.
Hello, Patriots. How's everybody doing this evening? We're back! USA! 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 The 45th and the 47th President of the United States of America will be here shortly. He's down at the Capitol. He'll be in a little while. He'll be here. They asked me to come out and say a few words and say hello to you great American patriots that came from all over the country. Thank you for being here today. One thing I just noticed when we were leaving the Capitol after the swearing in that really hit me hard after the journey we have been on over the last 9 years, especially over the last 4 years. It really hit me when they took the presidential seal right here and put it on front of the podium for when the president gets here. President Trump often says to us on Team Trump over the years, "You're so lucky that I took you on this journey." In the good times and the bad times, no matter what would be happening, we'd be sitting on Trump Force One, Air Force One, in the Oval Office, at Mar-a-Lago, no matter where it may be. Good times, bad times. You are so lucky I took you on this journey. And you know what, Mr. President? You are damn right. You took all of us on this journey. There's been a lot of stops along the way from 2016 when we started back in 2015 with a small campaign team flying around the country, doing rallies, small team, 6, 7, maybe 8 people. Then it continued to grow. Before you knew it, the GOP nomination was going to Donald J. Trump in Cleveland in 2016. Fast forward, he became the 45th President of the United States of America. He had a great 4-year term, and you know what's been great? The last 4 years have not been great in many senses, but he's back in office right now, and I'm just absolutely so pumped up for what this president is going to do. He loves each and every one of you in this arena. The guy cares. He has a fighting spirit, as you saw in Butler, Pennsylvania, with the assassination attempt that came a few months ago. You could say that again. Fight, fight, fight. It's a moment that I will never forget, being there and in the hospital with him. I want to just give you a behind-the-scenes moment with the president and the heart that he has. We were in the hospital he had blood coming down his ear. He wanted to know how his staff was. Myself and Susie were with him, and Stephen Chung and Walt, and even the Secret Service. How are you guys doing? The guy just got shot in the damn head, and he's worried about us. Are you guys okay? He's on the phone with his family. Showed him a picture, the iconic photo of his fist raised in the air. Told him it was from Doug Mills from the New York Times, a great photographer. He looked at the picture, he's staring at the picture, one of the most historical photos of all time. There'll never be anything like it. Told him it was from Doug Mills from the New York Times, a great photographer. He looked at the picture, he's staring at the picture, one of the most historical photos of all time. There'll never be anything like it. He said, call Doug and see if he's doing okay. That's the attitude he had in that hospital. Our president has been resilient through a lot. And I don't need to get into all of it because you're all familiar with it, and I'm convinced much of it that went on over the last 4 years is why he won the election in an electoral landslide. In Butler, Pennsylvania, when he got up and he raised that fist and he shouted, "Fight!" He will do that for every one of you, for the United States of America. He will always put America first, without question. He loves what he does. He's got a great administration and a great team behind him. What a journey. McDonald's, drive-through window, garbage trucks showing up at a rally, and him on the plane putting on his orange vest. Sir, are you going to take that off? I'm going to the rally in my orange vest. The guy is 1 in a trillion. There will never be anybody like this man again. Enjoy this moment. Enjoy this movement. And together, we will continue to fight, 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 put America first, and make America great again. God bless everybody here. We love you. Thank you.
And now, I get to introduce my dear friend and the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you. So now the work begins. We won, but now the work begins. We have to bring them home. And, you know, tonight I'm going to be signing on the J6 hostages, pardons, to get them out. And as soon as I leave, I'm going to the Oval Office and we'll be signing pardons for a lot of people, a lot of people. And you're witnessing the dawn of the golden age of America. That's what it's going to be. We're bringing it back. We're going to bring it back fast. We're going to bring it back fast. I also want to thank my wonderful family for being here, especially my beautiful wife, our First Lady, Melania. I love our First Lady. Right here with us also in the arena, I'm about to sign some very important executive orders of our new administration. Hey, Don, will you stand up, please? Don is another one. How about Don? This guy. And Ivanka. And you know, Jared negotiated the Abraham Accords, which are the biggest, it's the biggest deal made in the Middle East in many, many years, and it's really something. Jared, stand up, Jared. The Abraham Accords. And Tiffany's going to have a little baby. And Mark. And then I have a very tall son named Barron. Has anyone ever heard of him? Thank you. He knew the youth vote. You know, we won the youth vote by 36 points. And he was saying, Dad, you got to go out and do this one and that one. And we did a lot of them. And he respects them all. He understood them very well. And he said, Dad, you got to go out, do Joe Rogan, do all these guys. And we did. We did. And Joe Rogan was great. They were all great, right? Aaron, they were all good. He understood the market. Another famous one, how about Kai? Stand up, Kai. So we're going to sign executive orders. First, I'll revoke nearly 80 destructive and radical executive actions of the previous administration, one of the worst administrations in history, maybe not one of them, the worst. Anybody that would allow millions of people to pour through our borders from jails, prisons, mental institutions, insane asylums, gang members to be taken off the streets of Venezuela and deposited in our country, and many, not just Venezuela. You know, crime in Venezuela is down 74%. Because they took their criminals and gave them to us through an open border policy of the previous administration. All over the world, they're emptying their prisons into our country. They're emptying their mental institutions into our country. It stops as of 1 o'clock this afternoon, okay? It stops. But I'm immediately withdrawing from the unfair, one-sided Paris Climate Accord ripoff. The United States will not sabotage our own industries while China pollutes. I always say tariffs is the most beautiful word to me in the dictionary. Then I was reprimanded by the fake news. They said, what about love, religion, and God? I said, I agree. Let's put God number one. Let's put religion number two. Love, I don't know. We got to put that number three, I guess, right? And then it's tariff. Because tariffs are going to make us rich as hell. It's going to bring our country's businesses back that left us. And I'll also sign an executive order to immediately end federal government censorship of the American people. In America, we believe in free speech, and we're bringing it back starting today to stop the weaponization. Oh, do I know about that? These creeps. Deranged Jack Smith. You ever hear of him? Deranged. He's a deranged prosecutor. He's sick. They suck him on me. He's now been reduced to getting on an airplane, going back to The Hague or wherever the hell he came from. We got to get rid of that guy. Hey, was he one of the many people that got a pardon today? Did they pardon Jack Smith? You know, did you know that Biden, while I was making my speech, pardoned his whole family? The brother, the whole deal was pardoned. Can you imagine that? While I was making my speech, I finished my speech, and they said, sir, he pardoned his whole family. I said, ooh, can I go back out there and talk about it? Somehow that wouldn't be very elegant. Our First Lady would say, please don't do that. But we have plenty of time to talk about it, and we will. Never replacing MAGA. Nothing will ever replace MAGA. MAGA was the most successful political operation, political movement in the history of our country, maybe in the history of the world. Let's see what happens, because we're not finished yet. We're not finished yet. We got a long way to go. But we're doing this in the very first day in office, and in just a few moments, I'm not only signing the release of the J6 hostages, I'm signing other things that you're going to love. Oh, you're going to be happy reading newspapers tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. So I'm going to go right over to here, and I'm going to sign in front of you. Is that okay? Good.
Decisions of 78 Biden-era EOs and presidential memoranda.
You want to call it up? You want to say it? Do you want to say it?
Oh, if you want me to, sir.
Why don't you say what I'm signing?
Sure. The first item that President Trump is signing is the rescission of 78 Biden-era executive actions, executive orders, presidential memoranda, and others. Thank you, sir. Thank you. The second item, President Trump, is a regulatory freeze, as you announced in your speech, preventing bureaucrats from issuing any more regulations until we have full control of this, the government and this administration. Sir, can I have a pen? The next item, sir, is a freeze on all federal hiring, excepting the military and a number of other excluded categories, again, until full control of the government is achieved and we understand the objectives of government going forward.
Could you imagine Biden doing this? I don't think so.
Sir, the next item, as you announced in your speech, is a requirement that federal workers return to full-time in-person work immediately. Thank you, sir. Next, we have a directive to every department and agency in the federal government to address the cost of living crisis that has cost Americans so dearly. Thank you, sir. The next item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty. Yes, sir. We're going to save over $1 trillion by withdrawing from that treaty. And the next item, sir, is a letter that will be transmitted to the United Nations explaining that we are withdrawing from the Paris Climate Treaty. Thank you, sir. This next item is a directive to the federal government ordering the restoration of freedom of speech and preventing government censorship of free speech going forward. And lastly, sir, before we go back to the Oval Office to sign a large number of other items, is a directive to the federal government ending the weaponization of government against the political adversaries of the previous administration, as we've seen. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Pretty fun job.
Yes, sir. First, we have a list of pardons and commutations relating to events that occurred on January 6, 2021.
Okay, and how many people are this?
I think this order will apply to approximately 1,500 people, sir.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Full pardon or commutation?
Full pardon. We have about 6 commutations in there where we're doing further research.
Okay.
Nice to see you again.
And you too.
So this is a big one. Anything you want to explain about this? We hope they get them. We hope they come out tonight, frankly. They're expecting it. Approximately 1,500 people. Six commutations.
Were there any cases you did not commute or pardon of people?
We're looking at different things, but the commutations would be the ones that we'll take a look, and maybe it'll stay that way, or it'll go to full pardon.
And the order does require the Bureau of Prisons to act immediately on receipt of the pardons and commutation orders. Sir, this is an
Why don't we get that down so they can get them going right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yep, absolutely. This is a proclamation guaranteeing the state's protection against invasion based on the current crisis at the southern border. It invokes various executive powers relating to the ongoing invasion at the southern border.
Okay.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed. The golden age of America begins right now. America's decline is over. We will be working to meet every crisis with dignity and power and strength. We will move with purpose and speed to bring back hope, prosperity, safety, and peace for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day. In everything we do, my administration will be inspired by a strong pursuit of excellence and unrelenting success. America will reclaim its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth. I am with you. I will fight for you, and I will win for you. We will not be conquered. We will not be intimidated. We will not be broken, and we will not fail. From this day on, the United States of America will be a free, sovereign, and independent nation. We will stand bravely. We will live proudly. We will dream boldly. And nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours, and our golden age has just begun. The golden age of America begins right now.